The Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside the East Bayfield Community Center and welcome to 2024 Junior Sharks Hockey. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday and a happy new year and are excited to get back to watching our ladies play. The ladies actually were in action yesterday. They were on the road visiting Oakville where they took a bit of a heartbreak over a loss, 1-0. I talked to the coaching staff earlier today, and the girls played a solid game and got better with each period, but just couldn't solve the goaltender. Today, they welcome in the Central York Panthers. Central York's record is 16-6-0, and that makes them good enough for third place in the division. Whereas the Barrie Sharks are hanging on to 10th place with a record of 11-6-2. With the loss yesterday, they are certainly looking to get back into the win column and make a push towards the playoffs. I did take the opportunity to look up the playoff structure for this coming season, and what they do with all the teams involved in the blue division and the red division is they separate them out into a gold tournament, a silver tournament, and a bronze tournament. So the top 8 will play for gold, the middle 8 will play for silver, and the bottom 8 or the bottom 4 the blue division and all 4 in the red division play for the bronze. So the Sharks want to get into that ace spot. Right now they currently sit in 10th place. Now for Central York, this is their first game back after their break. Their last game played was on December the 17th, where they won against the Waterloo Ravens 3-0. So they're looking to keep that winning streak going, but I know that our Junior Sharks are going to want to, put a damper on that and make sure they come out on the win side. Today's starting lineup. On defense, number 12, Sashka Siska Humphreys. Number 28, Tegan Perry. And our forwards are number 22, Alex Dusome. Number 34, Aaliyah Sutton. And number 73, Haley Beckett. Starting between the pipes today is number 74, Ava Zador. Starting lineup for your Central York Panthers. And I'd like to welcome in all the Central York fans who are joining the live stream today. Starting lineup for your Central York Panthers. On defense, number 65, Hannah Clark. And number 21, Morgan Liu. On the forward line, number 7, Zoe Lee. Number 24, Amber Esterbrooks. And number 87, Cheyenne DeGear. Starting in net for the Central York Panthers is number 70, Isabel Why Not. Just about a minute and a half left in warm-up, and we'll get set for puck drop. I'm excited to be back. My name is Cheryl Gilroy, and I'm joined today by Tim Norton, my tech director, as well as my cameraman, Nate Norton. Excuse me, I got something caught in my throat. We're a small trio, but we're mighty, and we're certainly happy to be bringing all the live stream action to you as we try to wrap up here the regular season and make the push for the playoffs. Tim, are you excited about playoffs?
Very.
Yeah. We still have some more hockey to play. This is only game 22 of the regular season. That's halfway through. A lot of more hockey to play, and I know the Sharks are looking to what wins, gets points, and move up into the gold division so they can play for a gold medal in that tournament at the end of the regular season. Just under a minute left here in warm-up, and we'll get set for the national anthem. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the live stream, and welcome in the Shark Tank. We're glad to have you with us. You'll actually be getting a lot of Sharks action in the coming days as they have 2 home games coming up later. Friday, they welcome in the Nepean Wildcats, and on Sunday, they welcome in the London Devilettes. I do believe that both of those teams they have not faced yet, and they have not faced the Central York Panthers at all in the regular season. So I'm looking forward to see how this game turns out today, and I'm so excited just for women's hockey in general with all the PWHL action happening this past week. I had the privilege of being down there for that first game on New Year's Day. It's awesome to have women's hockey in the news. Just overall exciting to be a part of the women's movement, as I like to call it. Certainly is no shortage of fans. As I looked at the game in Minnesota, over 13,000 fans filled the XL Center to watch their Minnesota team in their home opener. Toronto had a sold-out house for their home opener. Awesome times. Everybody's having a powwow here. You can't see it on the screen there, but there is powwows happening on either end. And then we'll get set here for our national anthem. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Now we see our Sharks. Let's get set for some Junior Sharks hockey. I can't believe it's January already. Fall seemed to fly by so fast, and we haven't had a whole lot of winter weather to really speak of yet, but it is nice and crispy outside and a little chillier inside the rink today. But I'm sure the Junior Sharks are going to want to get hot as they attempt to get back into the win column today. Let's get set for puck drop. It's going to be Elias Sutton versus DeGear in the face-off dot, and we are underway. Game 22 of the regular season for the Barrie Junior Sharks, and the push towards the playoffs starts now. Sharks getting into the Panthers' end and will have their first try at a goal attempt, taking it behind the net. Hannah Clark trying to get into the Sharks' way. Haley Beckett keeping it down there in the corner and want to get out in front where Dusome and Elias Sutton are going to park out in front. Central York clears it. It'll go the distance and get touched, but no icing as that was touched. All the way back down for Tegan Perry behind the net. Off the boards. Throw it out to neutral. It's going to be a foot race. It's Newman Mixon catching up to the puck ahead of Dusome. She'll hold on to it behind her own net and pass it out to Lord. Stewart throws it into the corner where May Severn's going to chase it. Can't hold on to the puck possession, however. Central York taking over. They'll throw it out back to neutral. This is to Leah Hildebrand in the Sharks' end. Pass intercepted by Williams out in front in the slot area. It'll get to the corner. Sonia Meta's going to try her hand at getting the puck free. Doesn't work. Central York still hanging on. The puck does squeak out over the blue line, and we'll get our first icing call of the game. Excuse me, offside of the game. Just a minute and a half gone. It's awesome to be back. Haven't been here for a home game in about a month, and I was going through a little bit of withdrawal. Sharks hold on to it on their own blue line and push it forward. Essex for the Central York Panthers trying to get to it. It's going to get deflected and up into the mesh, so we'll have a face-off just to the right of the goaltender for Central York. Starting goaltender for the Central York Panthers is Isabel Why Not. We do have a couple of call-ups today from U18 AA on the Junior Shark side. Number 66, Brooke Brown, and number 55, Abby Homick. Easy bounce in there to the net, glove for the netminder for Central York. Quick stoppage and play, another quick face-off. Claire Essex is going to take this face-off for Central York versus Brooke Judkowitz. That's going to get won by Central York. This is Clark behind her net. Trying to push it forward out into the boards. It works out to Stoikos. She holds on to it as she comes over the blue line. She gets run over by... I can't quite make out the jersey from here. Siska Humphreys. That's who it was. All right. I got to pay closer attention. Okay, the puck comes out. This is Clark. Feeds it over to Lou. Number 21, Morgan Lou, is a call-up for Central York as well. So some players missing from both lineups today. We'll see how they work themselves out. Shot in from the blue line. Cycling around, trying to get out in front for Lee. Couldn't connect. A shot in by Lore, and a great save by Sador. First shot she's seen so far in this contest. Just 7:13 remaining in the period. DeGear in for the faceoff versus Sutton. Hildebrandt's going to throw it out of harm's way and all the way down. Is that going to be enough for icing? Nope, that gets waved off. Beckett giving it chase. But Laura for Central York is going to get her stick on it. Holds on and tries to clear it out of the zone. Sharks taking over. This is Sutton. Has her pocket picked by Lee, and she'll pass it out to DeGear, and she's all by herself as the lines go for a change. Beckett will also dump it down and go for a change. Why not? The netminder holds it up for her defense. Out to center from Severn. Oh my goodness, what a shot! Picks the pocket of the Central York Panther and makes no mistake and goes top right corner for the first goal of the game. 1-0 Barrie Sharks. I wish I had replay. That was a beautiful shot. Just right off into the slot area. Picks the Central York Panthers pocket and makes a shot top right corner. Beautiful. Great start. And this game isn't even 4 minutes old yet. Clements behind the net. Moves it forward to Stoikos. She'll move it off to France. Puck sent down the other way by the Sharks. They'll battle for it in the corner. It'll get sent out to the slot area and picked up by Franz. He'll move it forward. Only far as the red line, and Redden sends it right back into the Panthers' end. All right, that goal was unassisted, as by the announcer there. Beautiful shot by May Severn. Clark, over to Lou. And then up to Esterbrook, who tries to get it into the Sharks' end. They do get it in there, and it will trickle right in front. Oh, right through the crease, and Sadora had to be careful. She had her toe in the right spot, though. Steered it to the corner. They'll battle for it in the corner. Central York has it behind Zadora. Will try to work it out in front. Cheyenne DeGear. Cheyenne DeGear is the top point getter right now for the Central York Panthers. A total of 27 points. 13 goals and 14 assists as she leads the way for her Panthers. Clark sending it back behind the net over to her D partner. Right through the blue, and a nice shot in there by Judkowitz. Just misses. Hildebrandt trying to hold on to it and get it back the other way. It's going to be a penalty call on that. It's going to be boarding. That's going against number 91, Clara Williams. So she'll sit 2 minutes or less for boarding. And a power play opportunity here for the Junior Sharks. DeGear taking the face-off versus Sutton. Humphreys has it at the blue line, sends it over to Beckett. Pass over to Perry at the far side. She'll send it down into the corner for Sutton. Dusome goes in to give her a hand. Sutton's worked off the puck, and the Panthers will clear it and send it down. Zador will hold on to it as she's being chased. Oh no, had her pocket picked. Backhand. DeGear trying to put it in on the short side. Zador was ready. Oh my. Face off here to the left of Zador. That's won by the Sharks. They'll hold on. Hildebrandt will collect it there in the corner and try to get it forward. Sends it over to her D partner. May 7, our goal scorer, comes in with a little bit of speed. Back to Hildebrandt, who sends it right over to Meta. Sends it right into the crease, and why not has it. Shot in by the point there from Hildebrandt. They'll battle for it in the corner. Back out to Hildebrandt at the blue line. Sends it over to Meta. Down low, shot in. Stewart couldn't get all of it, so it did not meet its target. Hildebrandt holds on to it at the blue line. Back down for Stewart. Back to Hildebrandt, and she'll fire it in the slot area. That goes up and over and behind the net. Puck will trickle out in front for Meta, who will send it right back to Hildebrandt. Hits a couple of bodies, and then will bounce to the corner. Sharks holding on. Just 25 seconds left in the player advantage. Down for Hildebrandt. She'll slide it in, and a kick save there for Why Not. Panthers looking to clear. Meta now has it. Nice blocker save there by Why Not. Redden will backhand it and get it out to the red line. We're going to have another penalty for too many players on the ice. Unfortunately, that's going to go against the Barrie Sharks, so that will negate the last 9 seconds of that power play. And then once that 9 seconds is done, the Central York Panthers will get a power play. Puck will come out to the neutral zone for the Central York Panthers as they just now, Williams steps onto the ice and they will now commence their first power play of the game. Into the corner. Buckley trying to get it out in front into the slot area, right in the blue, and the Sharks will lift it and clear it. That's Judkowitz throwing it all the way down. Why Not will hold on to it for Lore. Lore with some speed as she's being chased by Sutton behind her, right on her heels. Holds on to at the red line, and the Sharks Dusome will backhand it and put it down into the Panther end. First minute of that penalty has expired. Esterbrooks off the boards, trying to feed it to Stoikos. Stoikos has got it, and she'll go for a bit of a skate, setting it up. Back to the red line for Clark. Sutton trying to get in her way. This is Williams, fresh out of the penalty box, getting in on the action. Hildebrandt in the corner. DeGear now has it, wants to get it out in front. Nice deke. Goes one way, then the other. Still in the slot area. Feeds needs it! Shot made by Avery Johnston. Just up and wide. Williams tries to send it out to the front, but no Panther there on the blue line. Clark will double back. And go all the way back to behind Why Not. Just 10 seconds left in the power play. And it looks like both teams are going to be over on their power play opportunities. Avery Johnston taking it down the side, feeding it out in front for Williams. She fires. That hits the goalpost. Excuse me, that was Franz making that shot, not Williams. Held on to it, the boards in front of the bench there by Judkowitz, but couldn't hold on to it long enough. Central coming back again. Tegan Perry trying to get her man into the corner. Woman, excuse me. Panthers holding on. Johnston sending it right down behind Zadorov into the near corner here. Panthers trying to feed out in front, and Sashka Siska Humphreys is getting in the way. In a good way. Trying to dig it out off the boards. It's Claire Essex for the Central York Panthers trying to get her stick onto it. Be another battle here in the near boards. Stoikos is going to come up finally, but she's going to get shoved by Perry. Couldn't hold on to the puck, and it will clear all the way back down. So that penalty has expired. Both teams back to even strength. And no power play goals by either team on those exchange of power plays. Stoikos behind Why Not. Newman Mixon trying to catch up to that puck, but she's stood up by Dusson. Esther Brooks trying to pull it out as well. This is Beckett trying to help out her partner. It'll trickle down behind the red line. Collected by Lohr. Try to send it back to her D partner. Sharks getting in the way. Arscott trying to get in on the play. McLaren holds on to it. It'll trickle into the slot, and the Panthers will clear it and send it all the way down. No icing on that. That was waved off. Clark sending it back down the other direction. Shot in by DeGear. Misses on the near side. Out to the neutral zone. It's going to get picked up by Redden. Redden trying to feed it over to McLaren. She hits it with a high stick, but just low enough, so no call on that. Picked off by Rutledge. She's trying to get it out in front as well. Here's McLaren. Couldn't hold on to possession. Panthers take over. Pass meant for DeGear just behind her, so she'll double back and she'll collect it. She's got it now. Sends it forward into the Sharks' end. This is Buckley. Out in front, and the point, shot in, and a goal! Zadorov was screened. Avery Johnston takes opportunity of all the traffic in front of Zadorov and puts it in past everybody. Tying this game up. Just under 8 minutes to go here in the first period. Once again, this is the first game back for the Central York Panthers after the break. Their last game was on December the 17th, so they want to get their legs underneath them. And as I said before, the Sharks played just yesterday in Oakville with a loss of 1-0. So they're kind of back in the swing of things, but they want to get back into the win column for sure. Back to Flint. She'll send it forward to Franz. Rolls off the end of her stick, and that'll be an icing call. Flint and Buckley get the assist on that goal by Avery Johnston, tying this game up. Sutton versus Lee in the face-off. Oh, Sutton's going to get tossed out. Beckett will come in. Judkowitz will stay on the right wing. Face-off won by Barrie. Over to Hildebrandt, and she'll fire. That gets deflected behind the net. Why not? Needs to be careful. Sharks trying to get out in front. No go. They do keep it onside. Just couldn't gather the puck and keep it on their stick long enough. This is DeGear in the corner with Meta. They both fall over. Sutton coming in to gather possession of the puck. It'll come off that corner and over to Meta. Meta trying to work it forward now, the zone. So Sutton, she'll lift and put it out to the red line. Some of the fans calling for a too many player penalty on that exchange for the Central York Panthers, but none coming. Shot in there by Buckley. Good save by Sador, and another great save. Puck still loose. Johnston tries for another one, and Zador has it. My goodness. Action in front of Sador. Just over 6 minutes to go here in the first period. We're tied at 1. It's like a referee had an exchange there with Coach Eldridge. Not sure what that would have been about. Comes back to Siska Humphries. She'll take it around Zador as she's being chased. Come on over the blue line. Panthers put it right back in, and they'll call them on the offside. Face-off won temporarily by the Panthers, but the Sharks are taking over in their own end. That's Homek trying to work it forward over the blue line. Central York keeping it down in the Sharks' end. Another battle in that near corner. It seems to be a popular hangout this game. Essex firing in from the blue line. It's going to get picked up by Siska Humphries in front of Zador, and she'll get it into the neutral zone. She'll fire it just over the red line and go off on a line change. This is Brown. Tries a shot in, and that gets blocked by Clark. Essex trying to move it out to the blue line, and now Stoikos takes over. Passes it off to Clark at the other side, and she'll dump it into that popular hangout in the corner. Sharks will get as far as the neutral zone, and McLaren nearly had a runaway with it, but had to double back as the puck was slightly behind her. Arscott in the corner trying to work it forward. Hildebrandt taking over. Sharks really want to clear it out. Panthers put it right back in. Flint now with it again. Estabrook's trying to get her stick on it. It does clear into the neutral zone. Redden sends it down in and goes off on a line change. Buckley moves it forward, but that will be an icing call, as that was on the wrong side of the red line when she made that pass. Just 4.5 minutes to go here in the first period. We're all tied at 1. Goals from Johnston on the Central York side, and Severn on the Shark side. DeGear versus Judkowitz. It's going to get won by Central York. Flint will send it over to Clements. Johnston trying to get her stick on it and clear it. Sharks keep it down. Goes back and forth in the corner, finally being picked up by DeGear. She'll move it forward. Has her pocket picked. Judkowitz and Stewart trying to bring it right back in. Johnston reclaims it. Tries to move it forward and cannot. She'll go off on a line change. Judkowitz still going after it. Jade Lore with the puck, moving it forward for Clara Williams. Foul on the blue line. Williams sends it back to her D. This is Lore. Beckett nearly had an opportunity. Couldn't gain control of the puck. Central York sends it down to Zador, who leaves it for Perry. Lore keeping it onside. Friends trying to chase up after it. Comes right back to Lore at the blue line, and she's still holding on. Essex trying to send it over. It's going to get picked up by Brown. Only momentarily. She goes off on a line change and down into the corner. Out in front for Sutton to Beckett. Rutledge comes in with a head of steam, but couldn't quite gain control of that puck. Central York sends it down, but they come in offside. .246 to go in the first period. And it's so awesome to be back here in the Shark Tank after more than a month away. It's been over a month, just about a month since the last home game. So I'm so happy to be back here in the building. Rutledge tries to make a shot, but it hits a couple of skates. This is Hannah Clark. Through neutral. Sends it over to Esterbrooks. Couldn't hold on. Talia Hildebrand in her own end will send it forward to McLaren. Panthers have it in the corner. This is De Geer. Deeks around Urbach, no problem. Comes over the red line, but Urbach's and picks her pocket. They'll exchange the pucks. Awesome. Clements in her own end. Being bothered by May 7, our Barrie Sharks goal scorer. Siska Humphreys hit the brakes and looking at her option. She'll send it out to Urbach. Flint for Central York gets there first. Slowly passes it out. Picked up by Tegan Barrie over the red line. Back to Perry. Pass meant for 7 just goes underneath her, so it'll get dumped into the corner. This is Lore. Trying to send it forward to Franz, but it's intercepted by Arscott. Sharks sticking with it. Sutton sends it back to Arscott, who will now send it forward to Beckett. She'll deflect it and send it into the Panthers' end. Sharks couldn't hold on to possession. Stoico's trying to get her stick on it to clear it. She gets hampered there by Arscott and couldn't get there. I think Arscott's going to get called for interference. Yes, she is. Just under a minute to go here in the first period. So 1 minute on the power play to end the first. And if nothing happens, 1 minute to begin the power play on period number 2. Out to the point for Clark. She'll fire through traffic. Just misses on the near side. Clark over to Lee. Sends it down for De Geer, who fires it in. Zador makes the save and leaves it for her defense. They'll battle for it in the corner. Central York comes up with it. De Geer on the far side. She'll come around. Stoico's waiting in front. Lee to Clark at the point, who fires it in, and that's blocked by Perry. Lee has it at the blue line, and it's going to come out. Panthers will have to tag and get onside. Bit of a line change. Fresh forwards and defense for Central York on this power play. Final 10 seconds to go in the first period. Pretty even action so far in this first period, as the horn now will sound. Pretty even chances at each end. Each team has a goal. And 1 minute left on that power play to begin the second period. Shots on goal, Central York 7, Barrie 5. So very close in the shots. It's going to be an even matchup, I think, folks. All right. We'll take a break here as the Zamboni comes on to clear, and I'll be back to give you the second period in about 12 minutes. Come on back, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here inside the Shark Tank at the East Bayfield Community Center. We're all tied up at 1. Just 1 minute left here in the intermission. We'll get set for period number 2. Once again, our goal scorers from period number 1. The Barrie Sharks goal was scored by number 9, May Severn. It was a beauty. Steal in front in the slot area and a beautiful shot just high. And the right corner. And the goal scorer for the Central York Panthers is number 6, Avery Johnston. Tied up at 1. Shots on goal are close. Both goaltenders made some great saves. Been really busy. Nice even game so far. My next live stream is going to be Friday, as the Sharks will welcome in the Nepean Wildcats. It's at 8 p.m. start time, so I hope you can join me for that. This is DeGear and Urbach on the face-off dot. We're set for period number 2. Just 1 minute left in that penalty. See if Central York can convert on the power play opportunity with a minute left. It'll come into the Central York end, and they'll take their time clearing it. Stoikos will pass it out to Lou. Forward to DeGear. To Clark, she'll fire. Nice blocker save there by Sador. DeGear tried to go to the backhand with the rebound, but it gets steered to the corner. Urbach trying to get it out of harm's way. This is Lee off the boards. Over to DeGear. Couldn't handle the pass. Lee trying to backhand it. She'll double back. Leave it for Clark at the point, who will fire it in. Another save. What a slide over there by Sador to shut the door. Just robbed DeGear of a backhand. Great save there by Ava Zador. They'll finally get pulled off the boards by the Sharks. This is Urbach. She'll push it ahead as she goes off for a line change. Penalty now over. Back to 5-on-5 action. It'll come all the way down. Sonia Meta is going to collect it out of the corner before her Panther rival follows her up. Pass out in front, and it will escape to the neutral zone. Clements gathering it at the blue line, makes a turn. Newman-Mixon. She's going to bring it behind the goal as Judkowitz gives chase. Pass out. Buckley. All the way down to behind the door. They'll try putting it out in front. Johnston's out in the slot area waiting for a pass, and she's got it! And she throws it over Zador's shoulder and notches one more on the point board, taking the lead. That was Avery Johnston again. She's got 2 goals in this contest. That was an even strength goal. The penalty had expired. Zador's been sharp. That pass just came out to Avery Johnston's stick right at the right time, and she just lifted it up over Zador's shoulder. 2-1 Central York. Lots of hockey left, though. Our Scott will try to move it forward to McLaren. She'll get sent backward. She'll send it over to Perry. Over to Rutledge. Rutledge trying to get it off the boards. It does come out over to McLaren. Sends it as far as the red line. Clark picking it up at that red line. Couldn't hold on to it. Sharks force it back the other way. Jordan Redden trying to get it into the slot area. Clark getting in her way. Williams and Stoikos with the assist on that second goal for Johnston. Shot in there by Esterbrook from the corner, and there's going to be a penalty on that call. Check to the head. That's going to go against Central York. Amber Esterbrook. Two minutes for a check to the head. Usually that's a 4. So the Sharks will have a power play here. They'll gain possession of that puck right off the face-off, and Hildebrandt tries to hold on to it at the blue line. Just gets run over there by De Geer, who gathers it and sends it down into the Sharks' end. This is Sonia Meta in the corner. Urbach gathering speed behind Zador. She'll come into the neutral zone. Stewart's to her right. Severn's in the slot. She'll get stood up by Newman Mixon in the corner, and Central York will try to get rid of it. Held onto at the blue line by Sonia Meta. Stewart's got it against the boards. Severn coming in to give her a hand. De Geer pulls it out underneath before she falls to the ice. And there's going to be another penalty coming, and that's going to go against Central York. It's going to be for interference. So, 1:15 left in the first penalty to Esterbrook's. Now Newman Mixon's going to get called for interference. So 5-on-3 for the Junior Sharks. Let's see if they can't get the equalizer with the player advantage. Sutton versus Williams in the face-off dot. Won by the Sharks. Hildebrandt's got it. Sends it down to Perry, who sends it right back to Hildebrandt. Down low, one-timer for Haley Beckett. That gets blocked, and the Panthers will clear. Zador will leave it for Hildebrandt. Tegan Perry sending it forward to Beckett. Beckett forward to Sutton. They come in onside. Sutton will fire. Rebounds it in there, and Sutton puts it in, and they will get a goal here on the 5-on-3. That will get Esterbrook's out of the box. Still 1:33 left to go in that second penalty to Newman Mixon. Nice goal there by Aaliyah Sutton. Evens this game up at 2 aside. Again, still 1:33 to go in the penalty to Newman Mixon. So still on a power play for the Barrie Junior Sharks. Urbach wins the faceoff and hands it to Severn. Severn chases it. Clements in the corner for Central York as the Panthers try to get it out of harm's way in their own end. To the blue line for Siska Humphreys. Over to Perry. She'll fire it in, misses on the far side. Bunch of bodies falling in front. Shot by by Stewart. Central York blocks it. That was Essex who gets it out of harm's way and down into the Sharks' end. Picked up by Severn, who couldn't quite get around Flint. Flint's got it, and she'll dump it into the corner. 50 seconds to go in the power play for the Junior Sharks. Perry loses an edge and loses control of the puck. Esterbrook's making a shot, but it goes wide into the corner. Haley Beckett tries to push it into the slot area, and she gets pushed off by two white sweaters. All the way down, Zador will leave it for Siska Humphreys, who will backhand it for Hildebrandt, moving it forward to Judkowitz. Sutton, our recent goal scorer, brings it in. Back to Beckett. Down on the far side, a shot in, and a good blocker saved by Wynot. Beckett's got it again and will fire it in, and that hits Lohr. Beckett stands her up before she can exit, and they're exchanging fisticuffs in the neutral zone. Shot in by Judkowitz as Newman Mixon exits the penalty box. Quite the exchange of words there in the neutral zone. Again, I wish I had replay just to see how that started and to keep an eye on it to see where it goes throughout the remainder of this contest. Back to 5-on-5 and 2-2 tie. So we're back to square one, essentially. Homek trying to put it out in front. Amy Clements puts it out of harm's way for the Central York Panthers. Dusome collecting it at the red line, giving it back to Homek. Coming right back in. Excuse me, Brown, not Homek. My mistake on that. Essex in the slot, trying to feed over to Franz. Doesn't work. Clark now in possession. will take her time and work around behind the net to Lou at the blue line. And that was Homick who sends it down into the Sharks' end. This is Arscott into the corner. It'll sit out in front, and Johnston nearly had another opportunity. One-timer by Clark at the blue line just sails to the far side of the goalpost. Panthers putting on the pressure here. Shot in by Williams, misses. Into the corner. Clark's trying to feed it over to Williams. Hampered by Arscott, who now has the puck. Can't get rid of it. Puck will sit there momentarily. Johnston weaves around a couple of blue sweaters but couldn't get the shot off. She'll wind and fire, and that'll hit Homick's skates and deflect into the corner. This is Lee. She'll make a turn over to Newman-Mixon, who will fire it in, and that gets blocked by Johnston, who will limp very gingerly to the Central York bench. Arscott over to McLaren. Couldn't settle it down. Picked up by Esther Brooks, who tries to send it back into the Sharks' end. This is Redden at the blue line, and it'll slide right into the blue, where Why Not will cover it up. Exciting first half of the second period. 2 goals have been scored, 1 for each. Close game. Rutledge versus Essex in the face-off dot. Essex trying to pull it around Why Not, but the Sharks pull it back the other way. This is Newman-Mixon clearing it out of the end. She'll come in over the blue line with some speed. Pack on her left. Starkos over to Lore. Into the corner for McLaren. Siska Humphreys trying to work it out. This is Rutledge behind her net. To Redden. Redden trying to send it forward to McLaren, but it's deflected, so that does not meet its target. This is Buckley over the blue line for Williams. Over to the side for Clements. She fires. That hits the pad. I heard that. To the blue line for Flint. She'll fire it in. That misses over top of the crossbar, and Zador will put a stop to that. Just over 11 minutes to go here in the second period. Little difficulties there with the net, and the linesman will get it all sorted out, and we're set to go here for puck drop. Urbach wins the draw. Couldn't hold on to it. Lee for Central York taking over, and now DeGear in the corner. Try to push into the slot area. Try to feed it to Esterbrook's. Urbach got in the way. Couple of bodies there colliding at the red line. Urbach nearly had a runaway with the puck as she nearly picked DeGear's pocket. Back to Esterbrook's. One-on-one versus Meta, and Lee giving her a hand. Steered to the corner. DeGear gets it off the boards. May Severn moving it out. Sonia Mena now at the red line, and she'll just poke it in and give it chase as Hannah Clark gets in her way and actually takes the puck from her. She'll wind her way out of the end and into the Sharks' end, all the way down. She'll make a turn. Lou coming in over the blue line. That's who Clark will pass to. Lou back to Clark, but she couldn't handle the pass, and will have to back up to the red line. Approaching the 10-minute mark here of the second period. Arscott up to Judkowitz. Judkowitz feeding it up to Redden. Couldn't settle it down, but she does a good job holding on to it temporarily. She still has it in the corner. Back to Arscott at the blue line. She'll fire it in. That's deflected up and over Why Not's head. Off the boards. Redden making a turn. Meant to pass it to Perry, but she had moved position. And I just happened to notice Coach Eldridge's expression after that happened. Not very pleased. Both girls go very hard into the boards, and we've got an injury. It looks like Jade Lore is on the ice and is not moving. Trainer will make her way out from the bench. I can see her breathing, but I can't see her moving at all. Oh, there she goes. I can see her feet move. Both girls went into the boards fairly heavily, so we hope that she's okay. I believe it is Jade Lore who was on the ice. We'll get our camera off of that. We don't need to see that. Once again, the Sharks are back in action again on Friday night. 8 o'clock start time, and then 2 days later back at home welcoming in the London Devilettes for the first time this season. Trainer is out giving her some assistance. She hasn't made it to her knees yet, so we hope that she's okay. Just 9.5 minutes left in the second period. I don't believe any ill intent was meant with that. I think the two girls just collided and both went into the boards fairly heavily. We definitely know that that happens with the speed at which these players play the game. Lore's still on the ice. They're rolling her onto her back now, so reassessing to what the situation is. I didn't see what part of her hit the boards first, but it looked extremely awkward from, at least from up here it did. We'll send all our good thoughts to Jade. It's always incredible to hear how quiet a rink gets when somebody is down. I've always known rinks to be quite noisy places, but when something like this happens, it can get really, really quiet. And this just out of concern for the player who was on the ice. She's now sitting up, and teammates have come to give her a hand off the ice, and I suspect that they will lift her up and bring her right to the dressing room right off the ice. And we'll get our camera back onto it, and we can see her coming up. There she comes. She's a little hunched over, and they will escort her to the open door there and take her to the dressing room to get properly looked at, and we do wish her the best. She was definitely making a good impact on this game, so I'm sure her teammates will miss her. But we hope that she's okay and that she comes back stronger. All right. We got music going again. And get ourselves back on track here. It's 2-2 tie so far. Zadora's keeping herself warmed in her net. We'll get set here for puck drop. It's going to be Brown versus DeGear in the face-off dog. All right. Back to game action. Brown down low, sitting it out in front. Pass meant for Toussaint, but couldn't connect. This is Lee. Over to Estabrooks. Couldn't hold on to it. Lee will come in just onside. It'll come around the boards. Stewart gets past the Central York Panther defense and she gets hauled. Excuse me, that was Dusome on the breakaway there on the far side. My mistake. DeGear comes back the other way. Picked up by Brown in front of Zador. Sends it out to Rutledge and she'll follow it up. There'll be a chase. Couldn't get there fast enough and it's going to get called for icing. With just over 8.5 minutes to go in the second period. We're all tied at 2. Avery Johnston's got the 2 goals for Central York and the goal scorers for the Barrie Junior Sharks. May Severin got that first one and Aaliyah Sutton got number 2. Central York wins the faceoff. Johnston fires it in looking for the hat trick. Gets deflected into the corner. Hildebrandt trying to work it forward out of the end. Panthers send it right back down to behind Zador. This is Sonia Mena. She'll leave it for Hildebrandt. She'll try to send it up to Rutledge. She connects. Clark taking over at the blue line, sends it through to Williams, but she was just in front of the puck and couldn't accept the pass cleanly. Avery Johnston sending it down into the corner. Talia Hildebrandt will try to get away from her, sending it over to Meta. Homek trying to get out over that blue line. Central York keeping it in. Essex, Newman Mixon, and Pack all on the puck. We'll have a stoppage in play here. Sutton take this face off here against Essex. They'll jump to the corner. It's going to get battled for there off the boards. Pack getting in on the action, as is Stoikos. Onto the far side. Arscott trying to get it out. Inhibited by Pack for Central York. She'll turn around out to the fence and it will just skip over the defenseman's stick. And it will be incidental contact with the people on the bench. So we'll have a stoppage in play here with just 7:29 to go in the second. Face off here to the right of Zadora. It gets won by Barrie. Stewart trying to go for escape, but she has her pocket picked by the Central York Panthers. They bring it right back in. Urbach trying to clear it. Severin trying to pull it off the boards. For Flint. Flint sends it in and it deflects off a couple of skates. Sador will cover that and put a stop to the action. Williams will square off against Aaliyah Sutton. Beckett trying to send it forward to Judkowitz, and she's shoved away by an elbow. Puck does remain into the Panthers' end, though. Comes out to the slot area, but Sutton's a couple of strides behind and couldn't gain control. Hildebrandt coming in. Into the corner and over for Sutton. Sutton holding on, wants to get it out in front. They do. Out to the blue line for Hildebrandt. Judkowitz fans a little bit on the shot. Out to the blue line for Siska Humphrey. She fires it in. Rebound available. Avery Johnston will go just over the red line. Will dump it in, so no icing on that. Pass meant for Judkowitz, but it's nicked by Stoikos' skate, so it'll deflect and she'll pick it up. This is Newman Mixon at the blue line. She'll wind and fire. That hits a body. Over to Franz, and she fans on the shot. Deflected again. Stoikos now has it. She fires it in, and that is stopped by Zador and kicked to the corner. Newman Mixon down low for Essex. Back to Newman Mixon at the blue line. She'll fire it in through traffic. Zador never sees it. She scores. Great passing by the Central York Panthers to get it around. Traffic in front screening Sador, so she never saw it. Central York taking 1 goal advantage here with 5.5 minutes to go in the second period. Still lots of hockey left to play. Estabrooks and Perry will square off into the corner. DeGear coming in to give her teammate a hand. It'll come loose. Out to the blue line. McLaren trying to work the puck free so she can skate away with it. Bryn Rutledge trying to do the same thing, couldn't hold on to it. Central York down in their own end, trying to pass up to Estabrooks. That's deflected over to Arscott. Now Perry has it. Pack and Essex with the assist on that goal by Newman Mixon. Through the blue. Immediate poke check up by Wynot. Perry trying to fire it in, but it hits Avery Johnston's body, and she'll collect it. Exiting it out, couldn't get the shot off as she got close to the net, as she's inhibited there by Sonia Mehta. Around to the corner. Sharks will try to clear it out. Mehta trying to move it to Severn. But the Panthers come right back the other direction. This is Buckley over the blue line. They'll fight for it off the corner. Buckley still has it. Temporarily, Perry trying to take it over and get it out. Panthers still on it. This is Williams trying to get it out in front. It comes out in front, and the Sharks will skate away with it. Stewart, Severn on her left, out in front. Nearly connected on the pass there, but it skips to behind at the goal instead. Beckett holding on at the blue line, sending it down in for Severn, who shoots it down around. Picked up by Clark. Lou gets her stick on it and sends it over to Buckley. It'll come out to the neutral zone. Siska Humphreys is being chased by Stoikos. Gets to the puck first. Over to her D partner. Hildebrand. She'll battle for it in the corner. Essex gets it clear. Out to Newman Mixon, who sends it down into the corner and keeping it in play. Estabrooks trying the backhand. Great pad save there by Zador. Puck will escape out. Just under 3 minutes to go. Nice speed. That was Brooke Judkowitz making a shot in. Collision there between Estabrooks and Sutton, and there is going to be a penalty called on that. Both referees will make the call on that. Aaliyah Sutton on the wrong end of that call, so she'll sit 2 minutes or less for body contact. Face off here to the right of Zador as Central York Panthers are now on another power play. Shot in there by Flint. A nice glove save there by Zador. Just 3 seconds off the clock, so we'll set up shop and do it again. This time to the left of Zador. Williams versus Rutledge in the face-off dot. Williams gets dismissed, and Johnston will come in and take the face-off instead. Buckley gets her stick on it momentarily, and then it will deflect and pop up and over the plexiglass, and we'll have to get another puck and have another face-off. The puck was retrieved, and we'll hold on to that same puck. There must have been a bystander there on the other side of that plexiglass who threw it back. Johnston back in for the face-off as Williams was dismissed for a second time. Not sure why that would be. Meta trying to work off the puck there. Not successful. Central Panthers hanging on. Clement at the point, sending it down to Flint. Flint over to the far side for Johnston, and she'll wait before she dumps it into the corner. Buckley trying to get it out in front. Williams chasing. Clements holds on to it with her glove at the blue line. Flint over for Johnston. She'll wait back to Flint. Flint will wind and fire. Pad saved by Isidore into the corner. Flint trying to pull it up off the boards. She'll do it. Send it over to Clement. Redden gets in her way. Bouncing puck in front in the crease. Redden shoots it out. Clement sends it right back in, and then Redden will get rid of it into the neutral zone. Clark, leaving around the red line, brings it in. DeGear on her right. Different players here in the power play. And there'll be a tripping call there against the Barrie Sharks, which is unfortunate. That's going to go against Sonia Meta. So, like what we had in the first period, in the second period, the Central York Panthers will now have a 5-on-3. They're already up by 1 goal. And has an opportunity here to take a bigger lead if they can coordinate. Over to DeGear. Clark at the point. Back to DeGear down low. She'll wait. Sending it to the blue. It gets deflected by Stoikos' stick and into the corner. Lee, behind the net, will try to work it out in front. She'll get it to Clark. Clark sends it back down to DeGear. DeGear trying to send over to Estabrooks. Urbach getting in her way. Back to Clark. Over to DeGear. Couldn't sell the pass down. Zador shuts the door with her pass, so the puck couldn't escape into the net. 1 penalty over, now 5-on-4. Lee will fire, and that slides through the blue and into the corner. So the Sharks have killed off 1 penalty, a minute 10 left in the second, and a final 30 seconds left here in the second period. So this penalty will continue into the third. Newman-Mixon up to Pack. Judkowitz getting it back over the blue line. 15 seconds left to go in the period. Just over Johnston's stick, and it will come into the corner. R. Scott will lift it, get rid of it, and that should do it for the remainder here of the second period as the horn will sound. So we started the period with a 1-1 tie. Each team exchanged goals to make it a 2-2 tie. And Central York gets the go-ahead goal. Shot by Newman-Mixon getting that. Shots on goal for the second period. Taking a bit of a turn. Central York 17 to Barrie's 10. So momentum shifting into Central York's favor. We'll see how the Sharks can bounce back in the third. We'll take another Zamboni break, and I'll be back for the third period action in about 12 minutes. Come on back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the East Bayfield Community Center, folks. I got one more frame here left in this game. Central York is up 3-2. 36 seconds left in the penalty to the Barrie Sharks. About 40 seconds left here on the clock, and the girls are just making their return here to the ice. Once again, I'm back on the YouTube stream on Friday night at 8 o'clock as the Barrie Junior Sharks welcome in the Nepean Wildcats, and then just 2 days after that, the Sharks will welcome in the London Devilettes for the first time this season. Really excited for those 2 games. And I'm really excited now that we're just about over the hump and into the second half of this season as we push towards the playoffs and see how everybody filters out in terms of their standings and which grouping they're going to be in for the playoffs and stuff like that. It's really exciting, and my first time being a really big part of it this year, so I can't wait to see how all this unfolds and what kind of drama we're in for and excitement. Just totally thrilled. Looks like another 2-minute penalty was assessed. I see another penalty on the board that had just popped up there. I don't know what for. Abby Homick is going to serve it. So another 5-on-3 here to begin the third period. I'll see what the call is. I don't know what the penalty was called for, because I just saw the 2 minutes pop up onto the board just now. Would have happened after the whistle at the end of the second. Shot into the slot. It was a delay of game penalty that was assessed at the end of the period. I wonder when that happened. In any case, 5-on-3 for the Central York Panthers. Just about 8 seconds left to go in the first penalty. Feed over there to Estabrooks. Couldn't connect on the pass. It'll come out over the blue line for Clark. Meta back on. Shot in, but that just misses on the far side. DeGear holding on for Central York. She'll move in. Go around behind the net. Out to Lee. Clark fires. That misses wide. Into the corner. Lee picking it up again. Back to Clark, and it will exit the zone, so the Panthers will have to come out and tag up and get onside. Clark will pass it up, picked off by Siska Humphreys momentarily. Flint now has it, and will bring it over the blue line and into the Sharks' end. Williams following it up, so the power play players have changed. 30 seconds to go in that power play. It's now 5-on-4 as that first penalty did expire. Siska Humphreys in the corner, trying to hold on to possession to clear it. Out to Clements at the blue line. She'll send it down. Back to Clements at the blue line. It'll work itself all the way around. Well, Tegan Perry will collect it off the boards. Runs right into 2 white sweaters. Williams is there. Buckley holding on at the blue line. Penalty now over. Homick now on the ice. Back to 5-on-5. So nothing happening on that power play, 5-on-3 or 5-on-4. But the Central York Panthers are still up 3-2. So the Sharks are going to want to get an equalizer soon, and they do! Right on cue. No sooner did I say that did the Sharks fire from the slot. That was Kate Stewart making that shot in, and I believe it bounced through the 5-hole underneath Why Not. Even strength goal. So in the first period we were locked up at 1, in the second period we were locked up at 2, and now that we're in the third period we're locked up at 3. I sense a pattern here. Only this time I'm hoping that the Junior Sharks will get the go-ahead goal as opposed to the Central York Panthers. But that's just me. I know I'm biased. I apologize, Central York fans. It'll come back to Newman Mixon. She'll take her time and try to work around Beckett. Beckett's got it. She'll fire it in, and why not? Scott on her glove. Severin picking up another point with an assist, and Arscott with the second assist on that goal by Kate Stewart. Now the teams are situated fairly different in the standings. Central York sitting third. Ooh, and they'll sneak it in! It escapes underneath, why not? And the Sharks come right back and just tap it in for a go-ahead goal. Am I prophesizing, or did I make a good guess here? Or, yeah, we'll just, I'll chalk it up to good luck here. I believe that goal was tapped in by Aaliyah Sutton, and that will make it her second goal of the game, making it 4-3 Barrie Sharks and their first lead of this contest. Brown taking the face off against Williams. Sharks bring it right back down into the Panthers' end. We'll see if the Sharks can't get the momentum switched back to their side. Certainly on a good tear right now. Flint sending it forward to Johnston. Johnston's got 2 goals in this contest for the Central York Panthers. Sonia Medic collecting it off the corner and try to work it forward, and it will skip out of the zone. Brown chasing it. Assist going to Brooke Judkowitz on that second goal that was awarded to Aaliyah Sutton. So she's got 2 in the contest. May Severin's got 2 points. Both those 2 have been very hard workers in this game. I couldn't even pick which one would be my harder worker, but both have done very well in this contest and making their name known for sure. Newman Mixon almost in a headlock with Jordan Redden at the boards. It'll come off into the corner. McLaren will try to follow it up. Can't get to it. Newman Mixon behind the goal. Over to France, and they'll clear it out. Stoichkos trying to pull it in, and they'll come in offside as Stoichkos skated over the puck, and it was behind her. Just about 5 minutes gone here in the third and final frame, and things are getting exciting here at the Shark Tank. Face-off won by the Panthers. Clark trying to move it forward. Now Stoichkos has it, but she'll double back. Severin trying to keep it in onside in the Panthers' end. Good poke there by Stewart. Olivia Urbach will backhand it up to Meta. It's going to get collected by Hannah Clark in front of her own net, and she will make it to neutral. Send it all the way down. Icing waved off. DeGear picking it off as the pass was meant to get out of harm's way, but she'll take it. Behind the net, trying to get it out in front for Lee. Clements getting in on the action. 2 number 10s going at it in the corner. Sharks will lift it out, but it will hit the bench, so we'll have a stoppage in play. 14.5 minutes to go in the third. We do have a couple of girls who are out of the lineup. Ruby Mitchell is still nursing an injury, as is Megan Houle. Which is the reason why we have these 2 call-ups in the lineup today with Brooke Brown and Abby Homick, who've been doing very well in this contest. Haley Beckett on a bit of a break, but she'll wait for help before she fires. She feeds it to Judkowitz, who couldn't put it past Why Not. What a save by Why Not. Lee weaves around. Sutton and gets it out to neutral. Perry trying to bring it back in. The puck will come back into the Panthers' end. Over for Lee, off the boards. Perry sends it back to Homick. Homick nearly pickpocketed her rival, but couldn't get the shot off. What an effort by Abby Homick. Been watching her at U18 AA, and she's just a force to be reckoned with when she's on the ice. Homek trying to dig it out again with her teammate Brooke Brown, who's also from U18 AA. It will bounce off the stick in front of the crease, and Why Not will catch that and put a stop to the play. Brown in for the face-off against Williams, who's going to get dismissed out of the face-off. Buckley will come in and take the draw instead. That gets won by Barrie. Brown in the corner, trying to work it out in front, but it's picked up by Newman Mixon. She'll pass it forward to Johnston. It'll roll off the end of her stick, and Hildebrandt will send it back the other way. Only momentarily. Homek sends it down into the Panthers' end. No icing. Newman Mixon will take her time. Pass intercepted, pass intercepted, and a shot made in there to Why Not, and she makes a great save. Pardon me on my little hiccup. X6 will square off against Rutledge, and it gets won momentarily by Central York. Sharks getting in on the action pretty quickly. Is Essex from her own end trying to pass it up to Stoikos, intercepted by Redden and McLaren. Rutledge sending it over, and we're going to have a stoppage in play here. Looks like it's going to be a hand pass. Just over 12 and a half to go in the third. Essex takes the face-off for Central York, but Barrie wins it. Sonia Mene gets tripped up going over the blue, and that will draw a penalty call against the Central York Panthers. So with 12:35 to go in the third period, the Sharks are going to have a power play opportunity, see if they can't increase their lead. Morgan Liu for Central York is called on the infraction for tripping. Sharks do win the draw. Central York do clear it, though, and it will escape and come all the way down to the Sharks' end, so the Sharks will have to start all the way back from behind Zador, who hasn't seen a whole lot of action in this period yet. May Severin trying to push it forward. It does come into the zone. Erbach trying to chase it, but the Central York Panthers will lift it and get it to center. Hildebrandt trying to bring it right back in. Two Central York Panthers seem to collide in their own end. Not sure what the miscommunication was on that. Stewart and DeGear collide, and they both go to the ice. Flint gets it out. Pass over to Perry. Perry finds Beckett. Offside. Just ahead of that pass. 1 minute to go in the penalty to the Central York Panthers. Morgan Liu. Face off won by the Sharks, and they'll take their time and coordinate what they're going to do here. Pass up to Meta. Meta looking for Beckett or Judkowitz. Beckett's got it, but it's poked off of her stick by Avery Johnston. Again, Avery Johnston's got 2 goals in this game. Haley Beckett slides it forward and will chase it. Johnston's going to get to it first, though, with some speed. Trying to ring it around from behind. Why not? And the Panthers will get rid of it into the neutral zone. 30 seconds left in the power play. Sutton trying to feed it to Judkowitz. It's also poked off of her stick. Hildebrandt brings it in, but couldn't maintain control of the puck. Newman Mixon sending it over to the corner. Stoikos trying to get it over to her teammate. Sharks take over. Send it in into the slot. Perry trying to hold on. She does momentarily, but Williams is now on a break. Facing off against Hildebrandt. It does get to Zador, and they all go into the net together. The net comes off its pegs. We'll have a stoppage in play. Hopefully Sador gets up okay, as she was pretty much bowled over like a bowling pin. Looks like she'll check her equipment, but she looks like she's okay, as do the other two girls who slid into the net. Unfortunately, those goals don't count, but it'd be nice. But just kidding, folks. Trying to keep things light in the third period. There's Toussaint trying to bring it over the blue line, but it's poked off of her stick before she has a chance to enter the zone. Alicia Stoico sends it in, and Hannah Clark will give it a chase into the corner. They have it behind Zador. Again, besides being bowled over, hasn't seen a whole lot of action in this third period. That will go the distance for icing with exactly 10 minutes to go in the third. Sharks hanging on to a 1-goal lead. That goal being scored by Aaliyah Sutton, who has 2 goals in this game. Brown takes the face-off against DeGear. Sharks win it. Panthers fly it in, and that deflection hit DeGear and it went over the crossbar. She'll make a turn and try to push it towards the net, but it goes behind. Tegan Perry sends it over to the boards, collected by Flint for Central York. Both of those goals will go into the corner. That's DeGear and Brown. Pass meant for Judkowitz, skips over her stick. Otherwise, she might have had an opportunity. It goes the distance, and we will have an icing call against the Barrie Sharks. Things pretty much on an even keel here in the third period. Face-off one, Johnston throws it in for Central York. Nice glove save there by Sador, as he had to be pretty quick on that. The Central York Panthers won that face-off pretty quickly, right onto Johnston's stick, and she got off her stick rather quickly, and that's what Central York is going to have to do to tie this contest up. Throw it into the slot area, and the Sharks will get off the plexiglass and clear it. Redden couldn't get too far with it, and will come back into the Sharks' end. Well, Bryn Rutledge will pick it up. Doesn't get too far as Central York's Buckley comes right back in. Slides off of her stick. Birds get picked up by Sonia Mehta over to Redden on the far boards. Into the slot. Talia Hildebrandt will look to see who she can pass to. She'll lift it and send it into the corner. McLaren following it up, but unfortunately is going to get called for icing before she gets there. 8:50 to go in the third. Or 8:48, 8:50. Hey, Tim, get with the program, you know. Just kidding. I'm in a weird mood today, Tim. Out to the blue line. Send it down into the corner. Stoikos looking for help there with Pack. Hildebrandt's going to take it behind the door and try to work it forward. Just want to say, you don't see Tim or hear Tim's voice, but he does a lot of work during these 3 periods during this game, so hats off to him for all the help he's given us this season. I just sit here and talk, so you do all the work, Tim. DeGear will face off against Urbach. Puck will sit there for a second. Finally dug out by May Severn, and she'll move it into the neutral zone, and a bunch of white sweaters will go and chase it. Captain Clark will leave it for her defensive partner over to Lee. And up to Esterbrook. She waits. Backhands, and Sador has got it. Great example of the determination on this Central York Panthers squad, down by 1. Lots of speed, collecting their puck in their own end and then getting it back into the Sharks' end to get that shot off. It was caught by Zador, but it was a fantastic opportunity. Perry. Over to Arscott. Arscott up to Beckett, who will bank it off the boards for Sutton. Sutton tries to feed it to Judkowitz, but it's too far in front of her to connect. Right thought. Judkowitz just a couple of strides behind and couldn't quite get there, or that would have looked pretty. Stoikos. No, Essex will take the face-off here against Sutton. That's won by Barrie. Back to Siska Humphries, who will try to shoot it forward to Beckett. Beckett sends it in. Judkowitz will try to follow it up. Clements gets to it first. Essex clearing it out to Pack. Pack comes over the blue line. Lots of speed, comes in, shoots in. Quick save there by Zador. Again, she wasn't too active in the first half of the third period, but has seen quite a bit in the last few minutes. Flint. Past Franz and over to Stoikos. Esterbrook's following it up. She'll try to get it out front. She's hampered by that by Hildebrand in the corner. Sonia Meta trying to stop De Geer. De Geer tries to wrap around, but she's hampered. Tries to go the other way. Zador's ready, as is the other Sharks trying to get her off the puck. Great effort there by the Sharks defense. Franz sending it up to De Geer. Couldn't hold on. Sharks bring it back the other way. Urbach trying to chase after it. Nearly tripped up. Out in front. Stewart couldn't quite connect on the shot. Puck stays on the right side of the blue line until it passes to Captain Clark, and she'll bring it into the Sharks' end and dump it. All the way around the boards for Williams, but past her. Pass over to Johnston. She connects with it, but it just goes wide of the goalpost on the far side. Urbach behind the door. Off the boards and will try to clear it out of their own end. Stewart trying desperately to pull it out from the boards. It'll back up. Arscott. Over to Severn. Stewart couldn't get away with that puck. Central York's Buckley will send it back down in. Johnston following it up. Beckett banging it off the boards and trying to clear it. Stoikos. Over to Buckley. Buckley over to Johnston. Again, Johnston's got 2 goals in this game. She's got 5 minutes to vie for a hat trick. Essex on the far boards, pulled off by Tegan Perry. It will escape over the blue line just barely, so the Panthers will have to tag up. Enough time for the Sharks to coordinate. There was a collision in front of the Barrie bench, and that's going to get called on a penalty. 4:45 to go in the third. Check to the head, and we'll see if it's 2 or 4. It's going to be a 4. So a double minor assessed to the Central York Panthers. Sharks up 4-3, and will have an opportunity here to see if they can't get or increase their lead. They win the face-off. Back to the blue line. Fires in just to the corner. They'll battle for it. Redden trying to pull it off the boards. Held on to onside by Tegan Perry. Tegan trying to push it towards the net. Redden has it at the blue line. She'll fire. That gets poked down by a couple of players. It'll slide right past the goalpost, and that didn't miss by much. Panthers trying to get rid of it. Siska Humphries at the blue line. She'll fire it in, and that's scooped up fairly easily by Isabel Wynot. Just 36 seconds gone in that double minor. Sharks trying to maintain control after the draw. Clark for Central York doing a great job trying to vie for that puck. Meta's got at the blue line. Buckling nearly had a runaway with it. She gets jammed into by the Sharks. Sharks continue. Panthers will get rid of it and send it all to the corner. And the first minute of that double minor has expired. Hildebrandt will collect it behind Zador. Urbach coming in. Sonia Media with it out of her own end. She'll dump it into the end zone. They'll battle for it in the corner. Stewart collects it. Out to Bickett at the blue line. She'll fire it in. That's a great save by Why Not. Another 30 seconds gone off the clock. .3:15 left in the third. Sutton will square off. Stokers comes in and take the draw for Central York. Sharks have it. Tegan Perry's got it at the blue line. She'll fire it in. Rebound sitting there, but a great save by Why Not. She had to totally stretch out with the right pad to make that save. Beckett over to Perry. She'll fire it in. Deflection from Judkowitz didn't quite work and goes right onto a Central York Panther stick. Sharks trying again. Perry trying on the far side to see if she can find the top left corner. Doesn't work as it sails wide. Back to Tegan Perry. Perry sends it over to nobody. And the Central York Panthers will send it down into the Sharks' end. Just a bit of a miscommunication there by Tegan Perry. All good. Leah Hildebrandt over the blue line. She's got Rutledge and Judkowitz on her right. She has the puck stolen away from her, but only momentarily. Judkowitz taking over. Judkowitz loses an edge and she'll fall. Out to the blue line. DeGear trying to send it out to Clark. Couldn't quite connect. Rutledge trying to come back in. First 2 minutes is gone. You got a minute left in that power play. Save there by Zador. We'll have a stoppage in play here with 1:12 to go in that penalty to Flint. And under 2 minutes to go in the third. Sharks are up 4-3. I'll keep an eye on Why Not to see if they can't gain possession of the puck and pull her when the penalty has expired. At the blue line. That's sent behind Zador. Alex Toussaint sends it out to McLaren. She'll come in, work her way around Clement. Doesn't quite execute properly. Clement's with it in the corner. Rutledge on her tail. Over to Perry. She fires. That misses on the near side. Rutledge taking her time, sending it down to Severn. She couldn't quite hold on to the pass. 30 seconds to go in the penalty. Siska Humphreys holds on to it at the blue line. Trying to send it down the slot for Rutledge. Intercepted by Pack for Central York. Last minute of play is sounded off. 10 seconds to go in the power play for Barrie. Siska Humphreys will dump. Go off on a line change. They'll battle for it in the corner. Penalty has expired. Back to 5-on-5. DeGear coming in to give her teammates a hand. It'll come into the slot, but Severn couldn't get turned around to get a shot off. Hildebrandt holding onto it at the blue line. Franz trying to get it out of harm's way, and we'll send it out. Hildebrandt collecting it for the Sharks and sending it right back down into the Panthers' end. 15 seconds to go in the third. It'll come the distance. Icing waved off. Final 8 seconds. Why Not's making a beeline for the bench. But the Central York Panthers aren't going to have enough time. And the Barrie Sharks come from behind not once, but twice. Tie things up 1-1 in the first. They tied things up 2-2 in the second. They tied things up 3-3 in the third. And then Elias Sutton gets the go-ahead goal, and that's how this game will end 4-3 for the Barrie Sharks. It was sloppy at times. It wasn't perfect, but you know what? I think Coach Eldridge will take the win on that and move on against this very, very strong Central York Panthers team. Shots on goal, 21 for Central York, 16 for Barrie. So that tells you Central York had a lot of opportunity. Couldn't put it in the net. Zadora wasn't busy in that third period, but she had to make the stops when she needed to. Congratulations to the Barrie Junior Sharks on that victory. We'll move on. I look forward to bringing the next game to you on Friday at 8 o'clock as the Barrie Junior Sharks will welcome Mendon Nepean Wildcats. Until then, Shark fans, thank you for joining the live stream. For myself, Cheryl Gilroy, from my tech director, Tim Norton, and our camera operator today, Nate Norton. Thank you for joining the live stream. We'll see you again on Friday. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, keep the faith. Good afternoon.